losing $435 today trading NVIDIA and others. This is the biggest losing day that I believe I have had in many months. But let's get into it. So this is a trade recap. And so you may ask why first, and then you would think, oh, you probably sized up. Oh, we wrong four times as we have 4 losing trades. Well, 2 things here. We realistically shouldn't have lost as much with how I kind of fumbled my NVIDIA trade. Should have been 1 trade, and it ended up being 2 trades. I'll explain why. And second, the other 2 trades that we had were initiated yet they were swings. So they were initiated yesterday or the day before. Yesterday, sorry. And because today's Tuesday. And they hit my stops today. So let's get into it, and we'll go from there. So I'll start with the 2 trades here, Nike and Lockheed Martin. So Nike, both of these were pretty much the exact same setup. We lost a similar amount on both. Losing 106 or 107 on Nike, and then 130 or so on LMT, plus a little bit of commissions. But that's really the deal. So we lost those 2, and then NVIDIA will add this up. Call this one approximately 200, a little over $200. It should have been less. Probably should have been like 135 because of where my stop loss was, but we'll get into that. So let's get into and we still have an open position on the Dow, by the way. We are still open the Dow. My stop loss has been moved up, but we still have a very small 30% of it left. So Nike, what did we like yesterday? We got in. Look at this freaking trade. Holy crap. Or this stock, I should say. So this also, I think, is what framed the NVIDIA loss. Well, so you'll see what I mean. Here's the level, right? Closing below $100. Breaking down, great. We did, if you go back, we did trade this on Friday of last week, and I initiated it. It was going to be a swing, but it closed back over 100, so I just got out for a small loss. I think I lost like 40, 50 bucks on it, so I just took the small loss on it. But this one, we ended up getting in. Volume was a little bit better on Friday too, or on Monday, sorry. And problem was, it came back up, and we stopped out over the breaking candle high. Simple as that. Now, why do we take this? Well, Nike's in a downtrend. Nike is breaking the level of consolidation or support, I should say. It was kind of consolidating and then broke that, and it broke support on high-ish volume. Not crazy, but better after trending down. So that's why I took it. Simple as that. Nothing crazy. It's just that's what it was. LMT, same kind of thing, right? Moved down off earnings, consolidate for a couple of days, break down, got in on higher volume. Great. It just didn't work. The next day came right back and broke the level and stopped me out. So you can't get I can't get mad at those. Like that's Now, what could have framed these in the first place? Well, look, here's SPY's chart, right? We're doing this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, well, yeah. You could also look at those 2 trades and say, they may offer setups for false breakdowns where you have, it breaks down, it fails, and it pushes back up on high volume, and then that sets up the reversal. So that was what I was kind of thinking, to be honest with you, after this. Now, that framed the NVIDIA trade. So then I come over here. I'm like, okay. I was just checking around, looking at some charts. Didn't think I was going to do anything today. The rest of the day, I was like, yeah, those are 2 losses. Is what it is. Then I see NVIDIA, right? And I'm like, oh, whoa, look at this. So then I jump over and I'm like, okay, this is interesting because we have, can we freaking stop with this freaking stupid trading view? Come on, help me out here. Whatever, it's being a pain in the ass. You have this breakdown of consolidation. Pushes down, pushes up, stays weak, pushes back, breaks down. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go, right? Thinking to myself, now, of course, the thing doesn't work. Thinking to myself, this lower wick could be the bounce back, right? On higher volume. I'm like, okay, here we go. So this lower wick, I see as my risk. So I get in somewhere up in here, around 680 or so. Stop loss under lows, targeting up towards the VWAP as kind of a return to mean. That's all that trade really is for me. It's the inverse of the only way I trade this is if the stock has been trending up over the past days, weeks, great. And it has a red day kind of thrown in, and it has a false breakdown, meaning it has a setup that I would normally take to the downside, kind of like a bear flag setup to the downside, a consolidation break to the downside, but it happens in the grand scheme of a bigger uptrend, and it fails. And it breaks down, wicks right back, and then closes up above the breakdown level, which it did on higher volume. So that's, to a T, exactly what I look for. Stop loss goes to low a day. Simple. It did get a decent move in my direction. So like there was profits there to be potentially be had, I guess. Just didn't get the push I was looking for. At least it's got to be at least a 1-to-1. At least a 1-to-1 risk reward, or it's not even doable. And so if the VWAP, if a 1-to-1 means it has to go to high of day, like no, I'm not trading that, right? No, that's too far. That means something's off on the trade. So that was the trade. Now, what ends up happening was I traded it twice. You say one trade there was 130, one lost 67. So there was a miscalculation on the stop. This is also another piece of things. A lot of shit going on in my head, I think. That I was trying to fuck with, but that threw me off. So see how this wick comes down and it technically doesn't hit low of day. So technically I shouldn't have gotten stopped out. But what I did was I connected a trade copier because I'm testing out a smaller account to see how like this trade copier works. Is for a separate video, but also just like to see if it works and how like this platform works. And so I tested that out. And so I'm like, oh, well, let me just check if I move my stop loss, like will it on the parent account, will it automatically move it on the trail or the copy account? And so I moved my stop loss up about 25 cents. That's exactly where this wick came down to. Literally came down, hit my stop, the new one that I moved 25 cents higher. And then I was like, oh shit, it stopped me out. And like, well, the good news is that the copier works. So when I edit my stop loss and take profits, it will edit on the copy account. So that's good. So I learned that. Cool. But in the process, I ended up having to lose more money than I needed to. Whatever it is, it's just a lesson. It is what it is. But then I came in and I said, oh shit, this happened on high volume. It did the exact same thing, right? Big wick coming back over the level. I got back in because I'm like, technically I never hit my stop loss, my original stop loss. So I'm going to play it. So I got in, but it was a tight stop because I got in here and then the stop ended up hitting, 20 minutes later. So that was it. So that's the two NVIDIA trades. So could have made it a little bit less of a problem. But for all intents and purposes, that's what we have. So that's that. I'm going to log all these, put them into my tag them and all that stuff like usual in TradeZell. That puts me red barely, just a little bit for the month of February, which is, a shame that it happens in boom, boom, boom fashion, but that's part of the game. That's part of what happens. And, it's two swings losing, like getting taken out on the same day. Like, what are you going to do? Realistically, if you think about it, it's like, really the day trades today was like $200-ish, and it shouldn't even have been that high, maybe 150 max, not even, a little bit less than that. Should have been what it was from active day trades. So I look at this number and I say to myself, holy shit, dude, do you have a max daily stop loss? Like, and $300 is kind of like was the number that it was months ago. I haven't really had a problem with that since. The only times it's gone over $300, which has been a couple of times, very, very few. This is the highest it's been. It's just simply because I got stopped out on swing trades. Just so happened to be the same exact day that I had lost on a day trade. So that's just kind of, and in this case, the NVIDIA thing. So that's that. Here's the dashboard of the account. The account is still technically up over 25K. But yeah, daily drawdown, you can see, but we are technically green. We have a cushion of $2,500 we can, fall back on, although should not fall back that far, especially with if I just kind of keep the same general approach that I've had the past 10 months. So that's the plan. That's a live look inside of here. And yeah, nothing crazy. The other account that I'm testing is a super small. It's like a $6,000 account, so it's not a lot. That's not something I'm going to even really be bothering. I'm not even tracking that because it's just copying trades off the parent account. So nothing to do there. But ideally in a scale up environment, like it'd be cool to know this tracker or this copier works is kind of the play. So it seems to work. I'll just keep testing it, make sure it doesn't have any errors. And if it doesn't, then I'd, share more about it or even maybe consider using it at some point in the future. So that is the plan. Hope that was helpful. Losing again, 435 today, trading really NVIDIA, and then two swings got cut out. That's what got me there, but it was technically my biggest loss on the day in many months. So thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you in the next trade recap or in a future video stream. Peace.